This is the story of a sweet, simple guy who ends up falling in love with the most popular girl in his class. He keeps trying all sorts of crazy ways to win her heart, but she doesn't give a damn about him. But in the end, our boy pulls off something so wild that the girl, and every other girl around, can't help but go crazy for him. So let's dive into the story of this innocent guy and his roller coaster ride of love. The story kicks off at a graduation ceremony. On stage, a girl named Angelica is singing. Meanwhile, in the crowd, we meet two best friends, Dennis and Rich. Dennis has a major crush on a girl named Beth, but till now, he's never even spoken to her because, well, she's not that popular. Rich tells Dennis, dude, it's the last day of school. If you don't tell her now, you're gonna keep roaming around like a lovesick puppy forever. If you like her, tell her. If you don't speak up, someone else will. Dennis nods and says, you're right, man. I'm gonna blow everyone's mind today. A little later, Dennis is called up to give his graduation speech. He's super nervous, but then he starts talking about his love story. And out of nowhere, he proposes to Beth right there in front of the whole school. He says, Beth, I love you with all my heart. And it's not some shallow thing. It's soul deep. The crowd is stunned. Beth is totally shocked. She's thinking, is this guy crazy confessing like this in front of everyone? But Dennis is fired up. He throws in some sweet one-liners to his buddy, riles up the other guys in class, and even takes a shot at Beth's boyfriend, Kevin. So hard that it's like smoke is coming out of Kevin's ears. Then Dennis turns to the entire student body and tells them to speak their hearts out too. In his excitement, he even blurts out a bunch of people's secrets. And right in the middle of all that, he yells out, my buddy Rich is gay. Rich freaks out and shouts, I'm not gay. Before Dennis can say more, the class teacher storms in and pulls him aside, calming the crowd down. After the event, the teacher meets Dennis and says, Dennis, what kind of super pills did you pop today? You went full wild on stage. Dennis replies, ma'am, love isn't easy to find, and I've totally lost my mind over it. The teacher laughs. And just then, Beth shows up. She looks Dennis in the eyes and says, hey, pretty boy, where the hell did you get the guts to propose to me in front of everyone? Then she drops the line. After hearing your speech, my tires went flat. Dennis says, why are you stressing? I'm here, right? I'm really good at fixing punctures. Hearing this, Beth blushes. Just then, Rich arrives and tells both of them that there's a big party at Dennis's house today, and they invite Beth to the party. Beth replies, if I get the time, I'll definitely come. At that moment, Beth's boyfriend shows up with his friends because Dennis had badly insulted him in a speech, but their class teacher arrives and settles the fight between them. After that, Dennis and Rich go home and start preparing for the party, but they're worried Beth might not come. Meanwhile, Dennis's mom and dad are going on their honeymoon, so they warn him not to let anything happen to the house during the party. They say, have fun at the party, and if needed, there are balloons in my closet for you. They also tell Dennis, son, this is the time for you to enjoy life. Studying will keep going, but make sure you get yourself a girlfriend too. After saying this, Dennis's parents leave. A little later, Beth arrives at Dennis's house with her two beautiful friends, Annie and Tracy. The three of them settle in and start enjoying the party. Then Beth gets a call from her boyfriend Cole, but they end up arguing. Beth tells him that she's at a party and having fun. At the party, Beth tells Dennis she wants to drink beer, but there isn't any in the house. So he says, baby, champagne will do. When Dennis tries to open the champagne bottle, something he's never done before, he ends up hurting his finger, and the bottle's pressure makes him fall down, causing everyone to laugh at him. Seeing Dennis on the floor, Beth sits on him and places a cold piece of bread on his injury. She wipes his face and helps him up. But when Dennis sees Beth sitting on him, he gets aroused. Beth also starts to feel like something's off and immediately gets up to tell her friends about it. Hearing this, all the girls start laughing. Meanwhile, one of Beth's friends finds a bunch of balloons and starts blowing them up with her mouth. They're all having a good time when suddenly Beth's boyfriend Kevin shows up. He had traced Beth's phone and found out she was at Dennis's house. Seeing Kevin, Dennis quickly tries to lock all the doors and windows, but Kevin and his friends manage to enter through the back door. They were furious and started wrecking things in Dennis's house. When Dennis sees what's happening, he gets so scared that he hides in his bedroom. But Kevin finds him and starts beating him like a dog. Just then, Beth shows up and tries to save Dennis, but Kevin starts throwing stuff from the house at Dennis. Beth doesn't like this at all, so she grabs a skull and hits Kevin with it, knocking him out. Dennis jumps off the roof, and then Beth comes back with her car. They all hop in the car and try to escape. Kevin sees this and starts running after them, but Beth doesn't stop the car. A little while later, Dennis tries calling his parents using Beth's phone, but they don't pick up. That's when Beth remembers that Kevin might be tracking her phone, so she throws it out the window. Later, Dennis goes to a store and picks up some beer and snacks. When they go to the cashier, the shopkeeper asks Beth for her ID. She shows it. The guy realizes she's trying to fool him and refuses to sell the beer. But Beth flirts and says, "If you give me the beer, I'll give you a kiss." The guy agrees and she kisses him. Dennis sees this and feels really upset. Then they get back in the car with the beer and drive to a forest where they start partying hard. Dennis tries to impress Beth by opening a beer bottle with his mouth, but ends up breaking a tooth. Meanwhile, Rich and Beth's two other friends wander into a farm nearby and accidentally step in cow poop. Back at the campfire, Beth and Dennis talk about what they'll do after school. Beth starts to see that Dennis is actually a good guy, but Dennis tells her he didn't like what she did to get the beer. Beth realizes he's right. Suddenly, Rich, Cammy, and Tracy come running back. Some cows are chasing them. They all hop in the car and head back toward home. Beth is driving through the forest, and she's speeding with excitement, but then she crashes into another car. A guy stumbles out of the other car trying to pull up his pants, followed by a woman. Turns out they were hooking up in the car all morning. As everyone stares, Dennis realizes they're his mom and dad. They were on a romantic getaway. Seeing this, Dennis literally pees his pants. He tries to go up to them, but his friends stop him. They all drive away and end up at a house where a big party's going on, thrown by a girl named Velly. Dennis goes wild seeing all the girls there and starts acting crazy. Dennis was scared here because he had humiliated Welly during the graduate program. Then when Dennis goes to the bathroom, he is spotted by Grade, who was jealous of Dennis because Dennis had also humiliated him during the school program. But Grade comes up to Dennis crying and tells him that he has faced humiliation since childhood and that everything Dennis said during the program was true. Dennis hugs him, and Grade says that from today, they are friends. Dennis comes back downstairs and finds out that Kevin is already present at the party. Kevin is with Welly at the party, and Beth sees them together. Seeing Dennis, Kevin again comes to beat him up. Kevin starts hitting Dennis again, but Dennis doesn't want to fight. Just then, the coach arrives. Dennis thinks the coach will protect him, but instead, the coach tells him to fight Kevin, and Kevin punches Dennis in the face. Seeing this, Grade steps in and starts beating up Kevin's friends, but Kevin also beats up Grade badly and grabs him again. Watching all this, Beth crashes a car into the house and tells her friends to run away from there. Then they all escape from the house. They all go to the school. Beth was the most famous girl in school, so she had a key to the building. There, Beth and her friends go downstairs and start dancing. After dancing, the three of them go to take a shower. Then Reach tells Dennis that they should also go join them, so the two of them follow the girls to the bathroom. In the bathroom, Dennis sees Beth changing her clothes. Then Beth comes near him, drops her towel, and tells Dennis that he doesn't need to be shy. Seeing this, Dennis is shocked. After that, the three girls leave, and then Reich also takes off his clothes and joins them. Dennis starts talking to himself in his mind. Before Dennis can go for a shower, Kevin arrives behind him, which scares him so much that he falls to the ground. Kevin then tries to kick Dennis, but Dennis somehow manages to dodge it. Just then, Reich arrives and takes everyone down with his wet towel. Reich handles Kevin and his friends while the rest get into Beth's car. Then Reich also joins them, and they all quickly get into the car and drive away. On the way, one of Beth's friends says that her dad has a house nearby and suggests they go there tonight to have some fun. Then Beth gets angry at Dennis, blaming him for everything and saying that if he hadn't proposed to her at school, none of this would have happened. Hearing this, Dennis asks her why she even came to his party. That's when Beth's friend reveals they all came to his party just to make fun of him. After a while, Dennis takes off his t-shirt. On the road, Beth tries to dry Dennis's t-shirt, but accidentally lets it fly out of the car. Beth and Dennis get out to look for it. During this, Dennis asks Beth how she could love a jerk like Kevin. Beth tells him that Kevin was the most popular guy in school, so she made him her boyfriend. But in the beginning, she didn't know he was such a jerk. Eventually, they find the t-shirt, but it's with a raccoon. Seeing them, the raccoon runs at them, and scared, both Dennis and Beth run back to the car and drive away. Later, they all reach the cabin and start drinking and partying. Since it was almost morning, Beth goes outside with Dennis to wait for the sunrise. Dennis asks Beth about her brother, and she tells him that her brother died when she was 2 years old. As they continue talking, morning arrives. Meanwhile, Kevin's friends want to know whether Reich is really gay. Reich says he's not, and that Dennis lied. To confirm this, the two girls seduce Reich, and the three of them end up making love. Afterward, Reich asks Tracy what she plans to do after school. Tracy says she's going to join an acting college. Reich is happy to hear this because he plans to enroll there too. He then asks why she never joined the drama club at school, to which she replies that she never liked it. Over here, Beth asks Dennis, "Do you still love me?" Dennis replies, "Not from noun. I've loved you first class all along. I just never got the chance to say it." Hearing this, Beth kisses Dennis. Later, Beth goes with Dennis and Rich to drop them off at Dennis's house. At first, Dennis's dad is angry seeing the mess in the house, but when he notices the bruises on Dennis's face, he realizes what must have happened. Instead of scolding him, he smiles upon seeing Beth, proud that his son did the right thing. heartbreaking. Beth tells Dennis, "You'll be going to a different college now. Maybe we'll meet again if possible." To that, Dennis responds, "We definitely will. And if you ever find yourself without a boyfriend, I'll marry you." Beth gives him a warm hug and leaves. Dennis and Rich start fixing the house together. Dennis tells Rich, "I'm not waiting for the future. I'm going to propose to her now. Who knows, she might fall for someone else later." And that's where the movie ends.